I hope you got your ticket for the Detroit Lions hype train because it won't be any more seats left very soon. Hello, everyone. My name is Derek, and welcome back to Detroit Lions Syndicate. You already know what we do on this channel. We talk all things about your favorite team, just without the fluff. So make sure you join the Syndicate by hitting that subscription button and ringing that notification bell if you want to be notified of every Syndicate video. Doesn't it feel great to be a Lions fan right now? We say that every year as we start to sip on the Kool-Aid and we get ready for another season. And a lot of times the way that our season goes is this unbelievable hype builds up during the offseason. The season gets here, we start to lose games, and then by week 4, we're talking about the NFL draft. But this year feels a lot different. From rookie head coach Dan Campbell starting 0-10-1. Didn't win our first game until December 5th, 2021. By that time, the playoff hopes were all but lost, and Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams were making their push to what will eventually be their Super Bowl victory. But what happened? We started to kind of get noticed during the season and how this team just refused to give up. Now, moral victories do not exist in the National Football League. A victory is a victory and a loss is a loss. But what the Detroit Lions did do that we hadn't seen since Jim Caldwell is play for their coach. Back in the days of Jim Caldwell, the Lions really adored him and played for him. Matt Patricia did the opposite. Chased people away, traded people. We lost Darius Slay. We lost Quandre Diggs. We traded away Golden Tate. I mean, he just wiped out everybody on the roster from the Jim Caldwell days. He got rid of. He brought in 18 of his former players to make up the Detroit Patriots. And now Dan Campbell comes along, and even though we didn't have the wins to back it up, this team showed you that they would fight to the very last breath. And that kneecap speech that he gave at the beginning of his press conference, while mocked, laughed at, animated series, I mean, everybody was making fun of it. By the end of the year, they respected it. And now that leads us to the NFL draft of 2022. The Detroit Lions get the second overall pick, beating the Green Bay Packers the last week of the season, and they snag Aiden Hutchinson. Then they trade up and get Jameson Williams with the 12th overall pick. Having one of the worst defenses in the league, they spend 6 of their 8 picks on defense in the 2022 draft. And what happens? The NFL narrative is beginning to blow in our favor. I keep telling you that. You might not want to see it. You might not want to believe it. But there is a narrative in play. The Detroit Lions have been at the bottom of the NFL's list for over 60 years, and it is time for us to start making our rise to the top. We've never won the NFC North. After starting the season 0-10, we finished the season 3-3-1. People are starting to not only take notice, but admit it out loud, right? That's what Detroit Lions fans do. You know what I've noticed that's different this year from any other year is that while us Lions fans, we do this every year, whether we believe it or not, some of us do it, right? I have never seen the outside media to this extent openly admit that they are starting to take notice of the Detroit Lions. We made a video a couple weeks ago about Peter King, who used to bash on the Detroit Lions, talking about how he expects them to have a pretty big turnaround and ranks them 20th on his list of teams this year in ranking. Well, another person, Scott Pioli, NFL analyst and former NFL general manager, had a lot to say Thursday night on NFL Network about the Detroit Lions. In a segment on NFL Network Thursday night, front office veteran and current network analyst Scott Pioli named the Detroit Lions as the new-look team he was most interested in seeing play this season. Formerly of the Patriots, Chiefs, Falcons, Browns, Ravens, and Jet organizations, Pioli was named NFL Executive of the Year multiple times by both the Pro Football Writers Association and the Sporting News. Lions fans may also remember that Pioli was a potential candidate for the general manager position that Brad Holmes was eventually selected to fill. In a tweet, Scott Pioli said, "My thoughts last night on which new-look NFL team I'm most interested for in 2022 and why. Improvement is incremental, not overnight." And then he uses the hashtag #OnePride. Well, go ahead, Scott. That's something that we use. So welcome to the pride. Now, unfortunately, I cannot bring in the clip from that tweet because of copyright reasons, NFL footage, and copywritten music. But if I will link it in the description so you can check it out yourself. What they're talking about is potential Super Bowl candidates. And when they segment to Scott, he brings up the Detroit Lions, but not Super Bowl candidates, but most improved candidates. And he then goes to run down a list of how they were different in the last 7 games of the season compared to the first 10. In his quick breakdown, the former Kansas City Chiefs general manager cited real, tangible signs of improvement in the team's performance over their last 6 games in 2021 and the strong sense of buy-in by the players to what the coaching staff wants to do. He believes the good signs over the last part of the 2021 season, like an improved pass rush, better sack differential, on-the-field discipline, fewer penalties, and special teams play, Rick Gosselin's rankings, are the types of detailed things that can have a big difference in the aggregate. One of the things that Pioli brings up in the segment is the turnover differential in the last 6 games compared to the first 11, and how the Lions were +6 in those last 6 games. I think it shows just by record alone that the Lions had improved after starting 0-10 their first 10 games, going 3-3-1 the last 7. So obviously, they are on an upward trajectory. And remember, this is the end of last year. So we're talking about injured reserve players, how we had second string, third string players. Our receiving core was not what it was this year. So the team is better in all regards. I think that people are actually noticing. But the most important part is he said that the players are buying into what Coach Campbell and the coaching staff is putting out there, which is something we hadn't seen over Matt Patricia's regime. We had it with Jim Caldwell. We just couldn't get over the hump. Matt Patricia was a dumpster fire from the very beginning. And now, after laughing at Dan Campbell and his kneecap speech, the NFL world is not only taking notice, but they're admitting that they are buying in to what the Detroit Lions are selling. Let me know in the comments below, how do you feel about all this media attention that we are getting? It is something that we as Detroit Lions fans are definitely not used to. Do you think that that's going to translate into a winning season? Remember, the Detroit Lions have not won 7 games since Jim Caldwell was our coach. My name is Derek. This is Detroit Lions Syndicate. To all my returning viewers, I appreciate you. You help get this content out in front of new people. To all my new people, thank you so much. If you like what you see, stick around, come back, and eventually subscribe. Because my job is to get you your Detroit Lions content without the fluff. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself. And as always, go Lions.